Hey everybody, what's up? Leonardo 2003 here, and Nickelodeon.com. About 12 hours early, the episode is supposed to debut tonight after the Kids' Choice Sports Awards, but someone at Nick.com posted the full episode online way early. I noticed it at about 5 a.m. this morning when I got to work, and me and the Turtle Den, we were talking about it. Maybe it was some Nickelodeon intern, maybe he dropped the ball or something, put it out online early, but hey, who knows? But most of us watched it already, so now let's review it. So the episode starts off with this mutant cat being chased through the city that eventually at the end of the episode gets named Mayhem by April, but we'll get to that. And it's being chased by these two big goons with these dogs strapped to their chest. And you know, there's this funny part right here, right off the bat there's a funny where they kind of tiptoe through this stuff that fell down on the sidewalk. And keep note of this guy who they all knocked over, because he's going to come back into the episode later on. So these bad guys, these goons, they end up trapping Mayhem in a corner in the back of some alley. But right when they go to grab her, she teleports to the other side and ends up escaping. So right here, we learn that Mayhem, which we don't know the name of yet, has these mystic powers. And then right here we get the scene where they showed as a sneak peek yesterday at Comic-Con and online. We already broke this scene down fully, but it starts off with this bad guy. This better be foreshadowing. They better take this villain somewhere later on down the series. This better not just be some random thing, because he looked pretty cool. He looked like a mobster or something. But here is our first shot at the Turtles, their debut in their first episode, Rise of the TMNT. How awesome do they look when they're all shadowy like this? They're not really shown throughout the episode that much like this, but wow. It's not necessarily dark looking, scary, but I mean, they look awesome. And Donatello, with his bow staff, his tech bow, shoots this straight zip line that they all jump on. And the episode leads us to believe that they're going to attack this mobster, but plot twist, they actually go right over him. They don't even notice him, I guess. And they end up doing it all so that they can cannonball into this pool. And I'm going to zoom in on this Leonardo dab right here, but this is something I hope the show doesn't do too much of, is kind of like build up these sequences and make you think something. And the Turtles it's really anticlimactic. You think it's going to be something serious, something really cool, and just through some gimmick or some joke, it actually turns the other way and turns into a big funny. Yeah, that's good every once in a while, or more often than not, but I want to see some real stuff. I want to see some real plot, and I think we're really going to get it, but we're just going to have to wait. And then right here, we get shown April O'Neil right off the bat, already being friendly with the Turtles. They're already best friends, so I hope that we get to see this backstory eventually. I'm sure we will, but this is definitely something new. The show is just jumping right into it. Not really showing too much origin with the stuff that we've already seen before, but the show does an excellent job of explaining all the new stuff. So they all bounce, they all go off to play basketball somewhere or something, and there you see Donnie's battle shell be put to good use for the first time. April hops on it, like some jetpack type thing or something like that, and Raphael spots Mayhem, and he's got a different color scheme right here. I'm not sure why, but they go to try to save him. Raphael thinks that he's going to be the one to save him, but Mayhem does not like Raphael, as you see right here. He actually likes April, jumps right into her arms, and pretty much right here you can kind of tell Mayhem is going to be April's new pet. But not so fast. Here come those goons again. They got those evil purple-pink eyes, and they're coming back with some surprises here. And the Turtles, they got a lot of funny stuff that they say. The dialogue in the show is awesome. The voice acting is actually so on point. It's amazing. Right here, they're all acting like they were going to a science convention or something like that, and that's why that they were all dressed up like turtles. It was a fail. It was really funny. I mean, it's that dialogue that really actually puts the show over the top, makes it great. If you think this show is funny, the action scenes are like a bonus, because the action scenes are actually really good too. So I'm loving the dialogue so far. So right here, out of nowhere, these two goons and their dogs all morph, they all mutate into these crazy evil looking dogs. They look awesome. I love these guys straight from the start when we saw them in those trailers. The dogs look so menacing, and those bug looking guys with their awesome sword staff things, I mean, just awesome looking. And right here was another funny joke by Leo, a New Jersey joke. It was just really funny stuff. And we see the turtles all start out with their original weapons right here. Got the twin katana, got the nunchucks, got the sais. It's not the original bow staff, it's a tech bow, but here's your confirmation, everybody. And right here, the turtles and April get to witness Mayhem's teleportation powers. So the turtles and these evil villains, they have a pretty awesome fight. It's our first fight scene of the series, and these things are just crazy. This dog just bit the blades right off of Leo's swords. I mean, just crazy. I don't think we've ever seen that before, something just bite them. We've seen the shredder break them before and stuff, but these fight scenes are pretty cool. Right here you see Mikey actually beat himself up with his nunchucks here. So you see the turtles aren't the most experienced fighters yet. And Raphael here, I think we witnessed a little fear from him. He was really afraid of this dog, but I would have been afraid too. And the dog ended up just biting him in the head and throwing him. So after these bad guys defeat the turtles, they actually show what they really came for. They wanted Mayhem. And not only did they want Mayhem, but they wanted the vial of this green gooey stuff that was attached to it. And I think that we all know what that green gooey stuff is. But it's never explained in this episode how Mayhem got that vial put around its neck. Using some mystic power, those evil mutants, they created this doorway through this random brick wall that they're going to escape through, but before they can, that guy I told you to remember just randomly rides his bike through it thinking it's a shortcut, and he ends up getting sucked into this evil world that we don't know what it is yet. And those guys escape into it with Mayhem, and April follows suit, but before the turtles can get in there, the thing actually closes up, and this is the logo that is shown right before the portal opens. And the turtles remember this because it's something familiar, something from Master Splinter's Do Not Touch little shelf right here. So Splinter obviously has some type of connection to this hidden world. So the turtles are trying to get it from Splinter's shelf, but he's watching this Japanese cartoon or something. I don't know. Splinter's pretty wild. Look at him, just sprawled out. He looks so ugly, drinking his milk. But as Raphael is scheming up a plan to steal it without Splinter seeing, Leo jumps in and actually just takes it like it's nothing. And this is subtly a common theme that they're going to show throughout the series. They showed it a lot in this episode, is Raphael kind of getting shown up in these small ways by his brothers. I really don't know how I feel about this Splinter yet. He's butt ugly. I never wanted to see Splinter in this position ever. He's lazy, he's pretty useless. So, I mean, hopefully it leads to a lot of character development. So right here we get a look into Raphael Psyche. He gets really nervous under pressure while he's trying to open up this portal with Splinter's artifact, and excelling under pressure is something that you need to be able to do if you want to be leader. So we're seeing some signs that Raphael is not cut out to be the leader in this episode, but he doesn't even really act like a leader all too much either, so whatever. So Raph ends up not being able to open the portal, and like I mentioned, Mikey ends up getting an opportunity, and he shows him right up, opens the portal, uses his artistic ability. I don't know what he did, but he got it open. So the turtles, they all jump in, and spoiler alert, they're being led down into Baron Draxum's underground city, and it looks fantastic. The designs, all the colors, look at all these mutants going around. So they know that they're in some type of underground mutant city. And I mean, just look at it all. It all looks amazing. All these colors, they all work so well. So right off the bat, the turtles meet back up with April. Seriously, right away, within 30 seconds of landing in this city. And April is just apparently a recon mission specialist. She never got caught, she never got captured by any of these mutants, or Baron Draxum for that matter. So apparently, I mean, April might be the best ninja out of all these guys. That's the way that they're portraying it. And they end up saying, where'd those guys with the dogs go? April, of course, saw them, and they went into this strange building, which turns out to be Baron Draxum's lair. So all 5 of them, they enter their lair, they're scoping it out, and from a distance, they see captured as Mayhem and that kid who rode his bike down that mystery doorway. And right here, we see the on-screen debut in episode 1 of Baron Draxum. Who knows how long he's going to be the main villain, but he's the main villain for pretty much all of season 1, you can say that. And those 2 black creatures on his shoulders, their names are Huggin and Nunum, I'm pretty sure. And they actually have voices, I didn't expect them to. And they're pretty much just jokers, they're like his right-hand men. They remind me a little bit of Bebop and Rocksteady, I guess, because they're not to be taken too seriously, but hey, whatever. Right there, you see an Uskeeto. and that green stuff in the vial, that mystery green ooze, it was ooze. It was mutagen, and Baron Draxum, he uses this mutagen, he puts it in this giant capsule tube, and all of the ooze-skeetos, this is how they refill their ooze. They just go up to it, stab it with their suckers or whatever, and they get the ooze. So Draxum, he says that this is his first mutation in years, and he tries it out on this human. He says, this is an experiment that's going to change the face of humanity. So you got to feel bad with this kid with the gauges. Turns into this crazy fish, crab type thing, and then he just ends up running away, and we don't see him again. And this is another far-fetched thing in this episode. April and her recon mission actually found this hidden room with all of these weapons. I don't know how she found it, but yeah. And then the turtles find all these customized weapons made just for them, just like the ones that just got broken in that last battle against the dogs. I mean, what are the chances? This is definitely not just a coincidence. There is some type of real connection between the turtles and Draxum. All signs are pointing towards Draxum actually being their creator or their mutator. And then Raphael points out the mystic weapons. So this is them discovering the mystic weapons. Again, all customized for each turtle with their own specific color. Too good to be a coincidence. And Donatello actually denies his mystic weapon, and you can't blame him. He's got that tech bow staff. And keep an eye out for this in future episodes. He makes note that he takes this little crystal, but we don't hear about it again. But definitely keep your eyes out for it in future episodes. After the turtles get their new mystic weapons, it's time that they invade Baron Draxum's lab. And when they do, when Baron sees them, he falls in love with these turtles. It's almost like he's seen them before. He's infatuated with them. He's looking at them almost like they're his sons. It's that crazy. But right before any confrontation happens, April jumps in trying to save Mayhem, but she gets snatched by Munnin and Nunnin, or Huggin, or whatever they're called, little bat looking things, and she ends up just being flown around by these bats throughout like the next 5 minutes of this fight. So now the second battle of the season, and they're fighting Baron Draxum, so this has got to be good. So they all attack, and Draxum has these crazy powers in his underground world. He's sending all these purple, cool looking vines out from under the ground to attack the turtles. And then he sends out this crazy, it's not even a mutant, you can't even tell what it is, a robot, a creation, sends that out of the ground. And then he says, catch those specimens. Yeah, specimens. Sounds really personal, sounds like they were his specimens. It was a pretty good battle between the turtles and this giant creation from Draxum. But actually, Donatello, his bow staff actually ends up accidentally defeating him. And right after he defeats him, you might not have caught this, but he actually jumps up with his bow staff and takes a selfie. Throughout this big Baron fight, you see him say something like, "We're on the same side. What are you doing? We're in this together." Like, he says all these things, like he knows of these turtles, he remembers them, he just hasn't seen them in a while. He also sees potential in the turtles. He thinks that if they had a real master, they'd actually be able to be masters of ninjutsu themselves. So right before the turtles and Baron Draxum go at it again, see Leo here talking a little trash. Leo is definitely the spokesperson for the turtles. He's always the one talking to the villains. And up here you see Donnie. He's probably uploading that selfie he just took to Instagram. And don't forget about April. She's in this scene the whole time in the background being flown around by Munnin and Huggin. Before this point, the turtles had no clue that these new weapons had mystic powers. They start to realize that with Michelangelo's, catches on fire basically and starts spiraling around out of control. Then Raphael's Tonfas, they gain the power, and then Leo's sword. But when they all use their powers, they realize that they're just uncontrollable. They all fail pretty miserably. Leo, he actually fails the worst. His portal, he just goes in this portal over and over and over again. It's really funny actually. But Donatello, he doesn't have these problems. He goes at it the old-fashioned way, which is his tech bow, which is all futuristic. But anyway, he actually has an awesome battle with Draxum. He holds his own, and with his tech bow, Donnie is really strong. He's actually right about to defeat Draxum, but he ends up getting taken out by Michelangelo's crazy mystic weapon. The turtles and April, they're cocooned. They're about to be captured by Draxum. But Mikey's mystic weapon, while it was spiraling out of control, it wrapped around the power structure of this lair, that big capsule, wrapped around everything and destroyed it all. And during all the chaos, The Mosquitoes all escaped. Look at them, hundreds of thousands of them. And I guarantee you this is the season 1 plotline in a nutshell. The Mosquitoes escape into the world, start mutating everyone, and hopefully it gets resolved by the end of season 1. The cage that was keeping Mayhem locked up, it must have been some type of power restraint cage because Mayhem just couldn't teleport out of it. But with all the destruction, Mayhem's cage broke. It was free, it ran right to April and the Turtles, teleported them outside of the collapsing building. Michelangelo quick opened up that mystic door again, and they escaped back to New York City. And because of all the mayhem going on, this is where April names this little cat Mayhem. And the episode comes to an end with all of the Mosquitoes escaping into New York City. This is gonna be bad. I don't even know where to begin, everybody. This definitely exceeded my expectations. The comedy, the dialogue, it was all spectacular. I didn't cringe once. I thought all the jokes were so funny. This voice cast, they all work really, really well together. I take back any bad things that I said about the voice actors for Michelangelo and Raphael. All of the Turtles work so well together. Even Mikey and Raph, they all sound great. They all just sound really comfortable in their roles. It all sounds great. The fight scenes, they were done really well. I love the animation. The action is great. They definitely don't cut back on the action. Baron Draxum in the underground city. I am so intrigued. I want to know the whole story. Obviously, it was heavily hinted that Draxum is probably the creator or the mutator of the Turtles, so they've got a big history together. Splinter is probably involved too. He's got the amulet or the antique or whatever that they had that opened up the secret doorway. And by the way, that thing broke at the end of the episode, so when Splinter sees that it's missing, he's going to be really pissed, but hopefully it leads to Splinter telling the Turtles a little bit of their backstory, a little bit of where he got that amulet from, and a little bit about Baron Draxum. And I know it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's so far-fetched, it's the most imaginative thing possible, but some of the things in the story, April going full recon mission and just mastering the entire underground city, knowing everything about it, finding the secret weapons being all tailored, all for the Turtles, even the right colors. Usually Splinter gives the colors to the Turtles, he gives them the masks, or at least the Turtles get the pick. So I'm wondering how Baron actually had the weapons with the color coordination for the Turtles. That can't just be a coincidence. If so, that's just really not good writing, really kiddie writing, making it all just seem too good to be true. I know they're Ninja Turtles, it's far-fetched, it's crazy, but usually the story can be pretty believable. Not really believable, but I mean at least, I don't know the right word because they're Ninja Turtles, so it's all crazy, but I know you guys know what I'm saying. Some of the stuff is just too coincidental. And what was up with Mayhem changing colors from that dark blue to this teal blue midway through the episode? I don't know, maybe I missed something. I probably missed a whole lot of stuff. I only watched the episode one time, grabbed some screenshots, and I've just been breaking down the entire plot of the episode 1. I've been rambling for a long time, everybody. Give me your opinions on episode 1 down below. Don't wait any longer to watch it. Head over to nick.com. And just to let you guys know, they even have the first like 3 or 4 episodes on there. Someone must have completely dropped the ball. I don't know what's happening, but go watch, everybody. More breakdowns and reviews to come this weekend. These things take a while to make, so you're gonna have to wait until probably Sunday. But thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a comment down below. Tell me all the things that I missed throughout this episode because I've only watched it one time. And just thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out. And by the way, guys, you probably noticed I didn't use any actual clips from the show in this review. I want to stay away from the copyrighted material for these reviews. I want these to always stay up on YouTube. I don't want them to get taken down. So that's why I'm not using any clips. I hope that these screenshots were good enough for you guys. Usually these reviews will not be this long, but this was a special 22-minute debut episode. The rest of the episode should be 11 minutes, besides maybe like season finales and stuff like that. But those videos should be about 10 minutes long. Not 20 minutes long like this one. So thank you guys again for watching, and peace out.